Most producers spend months learning Logic and still can't make a song. Not because they aren't talented, but because they're learning the wrong things. They open up the software, see hundreds of plugins and menus, and think, like, I need to understand all this. But the producers who learn Logic the fastest don't try to master the software. They move through these 5 stages instead. Once you understand these 5 stages, learning Logic becomes dramatically faster. So let me show you what I mean. When I first opened up Logic, the thing that confused me the most was plugins. I remember thinking, how do you even make these sound good, right? What do they do? And most beginners think the same way. They assume I need to understand all of this before I can actually make music. But that's actually backwards, because when I started learning Logic, when I started using Logic as a beginner producer, I wasn't trying actually to become a producer. I just wanted to record some of my demos so I could share them with other producers. And I actually, when I was working with other producers, I kept wondering, what are they doing on the computer and in Logic anyways? So I eventually started Logic, opened up it to capture my ideas. And then I slowly started to understand the software simply by using it. So let me show you something. This is one of my earlier projects. This is back 2017, I think. And I wasn't, you know, didn't really know anything about Logic at this point. My concern and my goal was just to capture my song ideas, and that's how I started. So notice how it's like, if I zoom out, there's just like tons of stuff. Again, look how far this goes. I had no idea what I was doing, but I was just trying to capture songs. And that's what I see a lot of my students in beginner projects is they're trying to learn everything, and they go right into like, because in Logic you have these default things that happen. Kind of sometimes compressors and EQs get added by default, or these buses especially. And they say, oh, I need to learn what a bus is, and oh, what does this compression do? And you go down these rabbit holes that are unnecessary and just cause frustration, just cause overwhelm, and where you don't have to go down any of these rabbit holes. The If you're just starting in Logic, just capture your song idea. And that can just be as basic as setting a tempo, recording something down, and an instrument and a vocal. And just doing those two things, you're going to learn, oh, I have to figure out a tempo, because Logic won't work within, the grid doesn't work unless I have a tempo. Or then you'll go down, you'll eventually learn, oh, I might want my instrument like this Deluxe Classic to be more in time. So then you will learn about quantization. And you let your creativity explore the things that you need to learn, versus the other way around, where you open up Logic and you're like, okay, I need to learn all of these things up top and all of these things here, where it should be reversed, where you're like, so this song is called Better.
Unsure which way to go, but I don't even doubt you living without me.
So once you stop trying to learn everything, you can actually move on to the next stage. And Logic is massive, but most producers only use a very small part of it. You really just need to learn a few core skills to build really, really great tracks. Things like cutting regions, copying sections, moving things in time, using the grid, and basic volume balance on your tracks. Honestly, the first tools I used consistently were just scissors, copy and paste, and that alone can help you build arrangements quickly. Eventually, of course, you're slowly going to want to learn more technical things like this too: routing, sends, buses, EQ, compression, reverb. All that stuff will come eventually, but not right at the beginning, because they sound complicated at first. But once someone sits down with you and explains them properly, they're actually very simple. Okay, so let me show you what I mean here. This is a session from, again, 2019, I think. So might sound simple, but the first few tools that I would get comfortable with are just copy and paste. I know it sounds so simple, but using copy and paste with specifically the marquee tool. So in your command tool here, You can have this set to marquee, and marquee is going to one more thing on this is when you're using marquee, and actually any of these tools or anything in Logic, make sure your snap here is set to on. So make sure it's like blue. And I would set it to smart. If this is off, you risk, it's fine, but you risk your movements being a little bit cavalier. So you have that being on. And now snap means the playhead and your marquee actions are going to be relevant to the grid. So relevant or on grid. So if I marquee, let's say I want this verse and pre-section to be over here, I can marquee this entire section all the way matching to the grid. So I have it highlighted here. I can do Option, click and drag. I'll split those and I'll move this entire thing over and just let go. Now, I know from that whole action that this is perfectly lined up on the grid and I can press play. The risk of having that snap being set to off when I do this is it's a little bit, see, I might accidentally carry over or not grab it right from the bar. It might be like this. I might split it and then copy and paste it, let go. And it kind of looks like I did it right, but if I zoom in, I've actually not pasted it in the right spot. And so that's off grid. And then it's just going to be a disaster to get that lined up. So just marquee, copy and paste with snap on is going to save you, is a huge tool to learn right away. Then you're of course going to learn other key commands. You're going to have to eventually. If you're going to go down the road of plugins, I would recommend knowing a little bit about at the beginning. You'll want to know a breadth of it afterwards, but reverb, compression, a little bit about that stuff at the beginning. I think reverb is a good thing to learn right away. One, because it just helps your productions stand out more, because a common beginner mistake is just not having enough room in your tracks and everything just sounds 2D and dry. So investing in a good reverb plugin like a Valhalla Vintage Verb or a Baby Audio Crystalline or something around that $40, $50 mark will really level up your productions. Just having a better reverb sounds than the ones that come for free in Logic. Not that the ones in Logic are bad, they sound a bit, I don't know, and maybe it's just the design of it. I just don't like them that much. So if you're getting overwhelmed, start with the smallest amount of tools first. You don't need to learn all the shortcuts. You can learn the ones, copy and paste with marquee tool is essential. And then you'll start to develop when you are doing things that are taking you a long time, like whatever that is. If you're thinking, this is so cumbersome and taking a long time, there's always a faster way to do it. So you can ask ChatGPT or you can, whatever, do some research and figure out the key command to do that thing faster. And then let that uncover what you should learn. Then when it comes to plugins, start with reverb. Then you can open the doors to compression and EQ, but those are more daunting plugins because you really have to know what you're doing with those ones. Next is the third stage, and this one might sound strange because you're watching one right now, but tutorials are actually the slowest ways to learn music production, because watching tutorials feels like you're learning, but you're not actually building that skill. You're just collecting information. You don't learn Logic by just watching. So you learn Logic by finishing songs. So when I first started producing, I made it a rule to myself to finish 3 songs per month and get those songs on Spotify. So I released 3 songs a month on Spotify back in 2019, 2020. It was totally fine back then because it was the pandemic. Now, listening to this song, let's just take a quick preview. It's cringy listening to it now, but let me explain.
Get to open up what's down under. You think you know someone, but after all, when it's over, you can't let go.
So cringy listening to it now. I think is a good thing. I think you should be cringy with the things you released in the past because that shows that you are progressing. Of course, over time, the cringy amount should be reduced so you reach a point of mastery. But to me, having this goal and releasing these songs forces your learning of what you actually need to know. I never considered myself a mixer at this point. I never considered myself a mastering engineer, but I had to learn mixing and I had to master this song. It's laughable the amount of plugins I have on this master chain to get this song loud enough and to figure out mastering to get it on Spotify. Having a goal like this it forces you to learn and adds a little bit of pressure, a good amount of pressure that will allow you to finish your songs because uh, as artists and as music makers, the goal of Logic is to create our songs, not to really be techie or learn technology. That's just a means to an end. So having this goal allows me just to create my music and purely use this as a tool for me to get this out there. But through that process, I have to learn, okay, what the heck is mixing? Because I need to put this song on Spotify this month. And what's mastering? Oh, it needs to be at a certain level. Oh, what is LUFS? Going to type that into Google or going to ask ChatGPT or whatever. Hey, ChatGPT wasn't around at that time. It wasn't as easy. So treat your learning, structure that around a goal, maybe one song a month. If that's too much, one song a quarter. And that will force you to learn what's important in Logic. And this is something I see all the time when working with students. Once someone commits to finishing songs consistently, their progress accelerates dramatically. And that's actually a big part of what we focus on inside my mentorship program. More info on that below. But even if you're learning on your own, the principle still remains the same: finish songs. At this point, most producers are already learning much faster, right? But there's one thing that accelerated my progress even more. For about 6 months straight, all I did was recreated songs. That's all I did. And so actually started a small channel called Polaris Beats, and I rebuilt instrumental tracks from scratch. No, I wasn't copying the melodies. I wasn't stealing anything, just studying the structure of production. What are the drums doing? What are the bass doing? How is the arrangement? How did the arrangement move? And by recreating these songs, I learned a ton of things that would have taken me years to just discover randomly. So let me show you what I mean. This is a beat that I created, and the benefit of recreating songs is that there's no creative overwhelm with learning, because sometimes when you're learning Logic, it's enough to be technically burdened by the software. And then if you have writer's block or you can't come up with chords or melodies, then you have that burden too. And it just becomes extra frustrating. So if you're just I want to learn how to create sounds, or I want to learn how to create structure or arrangement, then you take a cover song and recreate that song. So that's exactly what I did for 6 months. That's all I did was I found the wave files of the songs I wanted to create. I dragged them into Logic here like this, and then I would build it back up. So I would essentially copy, nothing illegal, but I'm looking at the drums. Okay, kick, snare patterns. Oh, guitars are very rhythmic. Oh, there's ad libs or vocal hooks. So this example, this is the beat I recreated. So back then, I really wanted to know how do you make those cicada style hi-hats like this? Okay, how did I do that? Let's dive in. I drew them out and I did it all by hand. There's a faster way to do that. Knowing it now, I would probably have done that in the step sequencer. It showed me, okay, verses, keep it nice and slim. Pre-chorus, build it up a bit. Drop out the drums. Chorus, bring everything in. Verse 2, slim it down again. Build it back up. Chorus times 3 over here, build it up even more. And it teaches you that arrangement, things you don't learn on your own, because when you're creatively producing your own song, you're biased of what it should sound like sometimes. Okay, but there's one other stage that speeds learning up more than anything. And one of the hardest parts of learning production is that you can't actually always see your own blind spots. And this happens to me all the time. It happens to everyone. We're human. I'll still get stuck in doing something a certain way. And until I actually work with another producer, that's when I suddenly realize that, oh, there's a better approach, a faster, more productive approach to something. So producers who always work completely alone often regularly stall. And it's not because they aren't talented, but because they actually can't see their own blind spots. They never hear the hard truths. This is what happened to me early on in my songwriting career and production career. I just worked alone, and I never had the hard feedback of someone telling me, "Hey, did you think about doing it like this?" Or maybe you should, maybe you should try this. For example, listen to this little snippet of this song here.
You, short hair, brown eyes. Then I knew that my life would change when I saw you on the street on that very day. It's funny how. So
Maybe difficult for you to hear just with that small snippet, but in context of like knowing myself, I was singing really, really high there in a register that wasn't a good color for my voice. And I did that for like many years until someone said, it's not sounding very good. You need to sing in a different register or find a different color of your voice that might be a bit more honest, a bit more you, and more authentic. And that feedback really only comes if you start working with other people. And this is actually why mentorship and collaboration can accelerate learning so much, because someone can hear your track and immediately point out what's holding you back, what you can be doing faster. And that's exactly the type of feedback we focus on inside my mentorship. Click here for more information about that. So if you zoom out, learning Logic isn't really about the software. It's about writing stronger songs, building better arrangements, developing taste, and finishing projects. The DAW is just the tool. You don't learn Logic by watching tutorials, so let this be your last. You learn Logic by finishing songs.